A Qantas plane comes down back in the 1940s. No one survives. Over the decades, as memories fade, the location of the crash is forgotten. It's a mystery until Fred gets his metal detector out one weekend.
This is Queensland's Mount Petrie, peaceful and picturesque, but just below the surface, a tragic past.
The left wing and that round dent there is the nose cone.
Those
it's still
marks
there,
are
yeah.
still here.
A man armed with his trusty metal detector and an aeroplane crash site shrouded in mystery.
He was able to pinpoint the actual location.
A keen prospector, we met Fred Wimmer earlier this year when we helped reunite a US veteran's family with these World War II dog tags he discovered while out metal detecting. Now he's been on the hunt again, this time unearthing more remarkable wartime history.
Fred, I know you wanted to find this crash site, but you thought it was going to be quite difficult.
Well, I didn't actually think I'd find it, but I'll just give it a crack.
8:30 a.m. on the 20th of February 1942, this Qantas Empire Airways de Havilland DH-86 Express took off from Archerfield Airport. Registration VHUSE. On board, a pilot and co-pilot, plus 7 wartime priority passengers, bound for Mount Isa, then on to Darwin. But no one would make it. 9 minutes into the flight, around 15 kilometres, the de Havilland crashed into a hillside in the Brisbane suburb of Belmont, making front-page news in the Courier Mail.
9 killed in Qantas liner crash. Police, soldiers and residents searched the thick scrub countryside. Their progress was hampered by boggy roads and visibility limited to 100 yards by heavy rain and mist.
When authorities first arrived in this bush, parts of the plane were littered more than 20 metres from the crash site. The newspaper said other parts were embedded deep into the ground. Now, 81 years on, there's still pieces of history being unearthed.
I started getting hits and bips on the metal detector, and I stepped into that crater and I realised that wasn't a natural formation. And I looked up the crater and there was this long mark. I thought, that's a wing mark.
Like an X marks the spot, Fred began to uncover more.
That would have been from a seat or something like that. It's a wing spar that joins the wings and the other braces and bits together.
Salvaging personal items lost in the wreckage too. Digging up an old key, a sixpence and a penny, all in remarkable condition.
That's 1925, so it's nearly 100 years old. It's been in the ground for over 80 years and it's been at a plane crash, and look at it, it's like brand new.
But his most noteworthy find, a metal badge engraved with LS Marshall.
In the news reports it comes up as Lindsay Stewart Marshall. He was the co-pilot.
And second cousin of aviation pioneer Sir Charles Kingsford Smith.
Oh, I still get a shiver just thinking about it.
Buried in the dirt in a forgotten bit of scrub, they disappear not only into history, but these parts will eventually rot away into the ground.
Mark Pilkington is an aviation enthusiast. He says Fred's recent discoveries hold huge historical significance.
It's a very early part of Qantas's story. Qantas prides itself as being the safest airline in the world.
Yeah, the farmer of the property that was down here somewhere, he heard it coming in and he saw the tail wing falling off it.
And that was the Achilles heel of this design in its very early days. The fin post would let go of the fuselage and the aircraft would then fall out of the sky.
It was this accident that would rewrite Qantas history, marking the last time a de Havilland DH-86 would fly for the airline.
Absolutely blows my mind, what I've found here and what's been sitting under our nose for so long.
These things are all hidden in history books. We're all forgetting it. We're moving on as society does. But this being able to eventually be displayed somewhere will tell their story.
And Fred's donating all of the plane parts to the Qantas Founders Museum. And he's hoping to return Lindsay Stewart Marshall's nameplate to his family.